Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Let's talk about HellFest. So HellFest follows a group of friends who go out to a haunted house amusement park. At this park, there's several different rides, there's attractions, there's games to play. Really just lots of fun for the Halloween spirit. However, it's not all fun and games because there is a serial killer out there trying to have some fun with a group of friends. This serial killer decides to tackle Natalie and her friends for the rest of the night, picking them off one by one, because that's the way he likes to get down during HellFest. And that's all pretty much say without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just gonna tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like, hit you with a rating system just like this one, breaking down the elements of the film and giving you a final ranking. Now I have to say, when I first heard about HellFest, it was through a little ad on YouTube while I was watching my videos. And I thought super dope content. We don't get to see a lot of slasher films out in theaters. We get plenty of them in straight to video or on Netflix. But honestly, the last time I can remember enjoying a slasher film in theaters, it's probably Happy Death Day, and that's about it. You guys remember the collection series? I thought that was kind of cool. I wish they kept that going. Anyways, back to HellFest. Horror is my favorite movie genre, and slasher films is my favorite sub-horror genre, but it's sort of dying. They're trying to bring it back with the Halloween franchise, and I'm sure they have other movies planned. So in the meantime, while that starts kicking off, it's cool to have this movie come out, but we have to admit, there's no marketing for it. There wasn't even press screenings. I had to pay my own money to go out and see this movie. Really sad, I know. Also, the fact that the director of the movie, Gregory Plotkin, the last film he directed was Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension. All that doesn't lead up to a good sign, but like I said, I love the slasher film subgenre, so let's see what's positive about this movie. I'll say, for one, I like the premise, I like the setting, and hey, I even like this serial killer. To a point. For one, the atmosphere. I love that it's set in this horror amusement park, because I love going to those around Halloween time. There's a lot of fun, all the different attractions. One thing that director and writer did do is when they went out to make this movie, they got actual people who work at amusement parks who make a living doing off that to be the characters in this movie, and that aspect is kind of cool and adds a little authenticity to the movie. As far as the character goes, they're likable, they're suitable, they're not completely annoying. There is one or two characters that is, but overall their interactions are sort of funny. You do get to like them a bit. Along with that, I'll say they cut to the chase by going straight to the amusement park and starting the thrills of this serial killer chasing them. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you're already at the park, you already got the character set up, you know this killer's there, he's following them, he's gonna start killing them. So I was like, yes, great, they know what I'm here for, I want to see that, let's roll along with it. Another thing I enjoyed about the movie is they're kind of mysterious about this killer. They don't actually give you too much detail, they don't reveal an origin story, there's not a big ass connection to these characters that he's chasing. It's just sort of a messed up dude who likes going around and killing people at an amusement park where he can hide in plain sight and stalk his prey. So that's pretty cool. And really that's just kind of where it ends for me, because no press screening, director of a bad movie, no marketing really for this movie. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Get into some of the negatives. As much as I love the slasher horror film genre, this movie is just a bunch of tropes and cliches wrapped up into one modernized movie. Honestly, if I saw this movie at Walmart, picked it up and watched it, and you told me it came out in 2002, I'd probably believe you, because it has all those cliches of a classic slasher film. The killer in this film, while I do like the mysterious behind him, I do like some of the things he does, honestly, this guy could audition for Baywatch, because he follows that trope of being a slow-paced killer, of really walking to his prey, which I know is just an homage to Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, but that stuff just doesn't cut it anymore. Other than that, I mentioned earlier that they don't play around, that they get straight into the park, introducing the characters, setting up the killer, and then just going at it. I think they did that so fast because they really wanted to take their sweet time with all these kills, because there's a difference between pacing and slow burning your movie and dragging your movie, and this film definitely dragged itself, because I thought this was a 2-hour long movie. It was more about an hour and a half, but it did not feel like it at all. Every time this killer is stalking his prey or about to kill somebody, really a 10-15 minute sequence, it takes forever. Also, it's not all that creative. They set up very obviously how this person is gonna end up dying. Not just that, but also the choreography between the actors. You can definitely tell characters fell a certain way when they're fighting or when they're dodging things or when they're striking. It feels extremely choreographed, like they didn't even practice it. It's just, this movie had a great premise, had a cool setup, had a nice environment, but it honestly made more for an interesting 30-minute short film than an hour and a half long film. I came out pretty disappointed with it. I wanted to love it. There were times where I was like, okay, it's got me, it's rolling, it's rolling. and you're screwing it, now it's slow burning again. But there's a reason that some of you are hearing about this movie for the first time through my review. Alright, so for HellFest, I'm gonna give action 1.5 stars. Like I said, the fight scenes in between a killer and a victim feel extremely choreographed. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars because the female characters and their interactions with each other were funny at times, but it didn't really bring it up to a hilarious level to me. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Like I said, it's a very simple premise. Serial killer at amusement park chasing some victims. They stay mysterious with the origin story of this killer. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give it 1.5 stars. It's not really a scary film. There are jump scares, but that's just the nature of a haunted house, is just to get scared from a jump. Other than that, you're more curious about the mystery and how these people will survive. And suspense in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I was hoping for a lot more suspense. I think they tried building it up with all that slow pace instead of building my suspense. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a C+. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it a C-. And critically, I'm going to give it an F. For HellFest, I recommend you rent it.
Play the movie.
But anyways, that's just my opinion on the film, guys. Let me know what you thought about it if you got around to see it. They set it up for a sequel, and there's also room for a prequel, according to the director and writer. They have that in mind. And I'd honestly be open to it. This film was a rocky start, but it got me curious enough about this killer that I'd like to see more, and the premise could be more creative and they could do more with it. But I think if they make the sequel, it's gonna end up on Netflix or straight to video, because I doubt this movie's making any money. But anyways, guys, be sure to like and subscribe to this video. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.